It's the activated new break 10, the Futurtarian. This video is going to be on graduation. See, because when you graduate and your mind's steadily moving faster than what you've been taught, and it starts going past. All right, I'm gonna give you an example. When you're dealing with a sensei, right? You got a sensei, and then once the sensei figures out that, oh, I can't mess with him no more. What they do, they send the student off to go do their thing to build more senseis. It's about multiple senseis. How you gonna move a whole planet forward with one sensei? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen like that. Even with the Egyptians, they were dealing with the Egyptians when they were spread it out all through Africa. They were all tapped in to a certain frequency that was beaming through the atmosphere. That's why they was running the planet. It's never been about the one. It's always been about the council. When you go look at those movies, when they show you those movies, and you see, I forgot what movie, 300 Sparta. Look at 300 Sparta and go back. Remember when you was dealing with the king had left to go fight, but even if the king was there, what did they do to make a decision? When they made a final decision, what happened? They went to the council to make the final say-so, final decision. It's always been about a council. It never been about one individual. That's why I say when you come messing with a Futurtarian, you're going to lose every time. It's not about the, all right, when you have a problem inside the government, who do they send them to? They send them to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court, they make a decision on that individual to determine his fate or her fate. Because it's always been about a council. It's never been about one person. It never been. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start thinking on a graduation level, what do you do when you go to college? You go to college, you might be there for 2 years, might be there for 4 years, might be there for 8 years. Who you talking to? You're talking to the professor. The professor's teaching you this and that, progressing you, getting you ready for another phase in your life if you're worthy of it. If you can go past the professor. See, once you go past the professor, then the professor is going to have some type of emotional, feeling about you because you went past the professor. You went past that. You graduated, you get your diploma, and after you get your diploma, what do? You move on. Move on with your life. And then what do? You go build. You go build. And then when you start building, then people come through as bulldozers. They come through as bulldozers and they try to stop the construction work. They try to stop the construction work, but they can't stop it. They can't stop the construction work. Getting your papers and moving forward. That's why I'm dealing with the positive and the negative, and then you have the breaker. What is the breaker? You have positive, you have negative, and you have a breaker. I don't care who you are. You can go in your house right now. When you look at your extension cord, the multi one you got hooked up to your computer, how many prongs is in there? You got the positive, negative, and you got the breaker. We the breakers. We the breakers. Getting emotional. I don't even talk to people. Some people I talk to, some people I don't. It just depends on their frequency, their vibration, and all that stuff. Some people I do, some people I don't. But leaders mess with leaders. Leaders mess with leaders. If you're the president of the United States, and you fly over to Saudi Arabia, you're not finna talk to no captain or no lieutenant. You're not. You're not going to talk to a captain. You know you're going to talk to, if you're the president and you fly over there, you're going to talk to the king of who's running Saudi Arabia. That's who you're going to talk to. They ain't gonna talk to, man. That's what I'm saying. Leaders mess with leaders, man. And see, when you're a leader and you don't mess with leaders, everything will get watered down. Everything will get tainted because that's a limitation factor. You're limiting yourself on resources and connection to moving stuff forward. So yeah, when you get your walking papers, you walk across the stadium and you get your papers and you walking, because I'm gonna break down the word reject for you. See, when you're dealing with a reject, you know what a reject is? A reject is somebody who gets either kicked out or they get rejected before they come in there. Somebody who leaves on their own, they graduated. The mind is moving faster and faster every day. It's going faster and faster every day. That's just like if you went to school and you in eighth grade, and you're in eighth grade, you're doing algebra, you're moving, you're getting A's on every paper, and you passing up the students that's in that class. Then you got to go mess with the students that's on your mindset. Because everything else is not going to be it's going to be entertainment to you. Broke recorders. But this video is about graduating and moving past people. See, when you move past people and you keep moving forward, a lot of people that you dealt with in your past, they're not going to like you anyway. They ain't. They're going to really show their true emotional side. They ain't going to like you anyway. They're going to show you that true emotional side, and they're going to be envy of you. That's okay though, because building over here is popping. Like, oh, he talks black. Yep. Well, it's a Futurtarian. That's one thing. When you do certain stuff like this, you got to have soul. You got to have soul, because we know if you got soul or not. And we know if you want BS, and we know if you're not. Because there's nothing past activation when you're dealing with activation. And when you're dealing with deactivation, nobody can be deactivated when they're activated. It's not going to work like that, because once you're activated, you're seeing everything. You can't go back. You can't go backwards after activation. So you can't be deactivated after you go past when you get to activation and you start moving. Just you keep going. Dealing with the sensei and the student. See, that's what the sensei do. The sensei, once the student gets to that mental level, physical level, soulful level, what do? The sensei sends them off, and he's done with that student. He got to work on the next ones. And some of the students that the sensei get, they can't even get to that level. They can't get to that level of moving straight past the sensei. Because there's nothing past activation on this planet. When nobody talk about activation, so I start talking about that. I got the documented facts, since y'all want to use the word facts all the time. I got the documented facts. When nobody talk about activation till I started talking about activation. Period. Yeah, getting your walking papers, man. Going across that stage, getting your walking papers, boom. And what do when you graduate? When you move past everybody, the people that are still in college, you move forward with your life and you keep it going. I got a couple of other videos. I just been busy up here in Minnesota right now. I got a couple of videos. They got everything boarded up. They got the George Floyd case going on. They got everything boarded up. And, waiting for people to ride and stuff like that, because the frequency is too high down here. It's too high. People talking about the word frequency ain't been the word frequency and intelligence been out here for I don't know how damn long. That's why I don't make long videos no more, because I get straight to the point. Ain't no reason to make no long videos. Y'all listen to this and be like, even if you don't agree with it, you're going to be like, damn, he right. He's exactly right. It's the activated new bright 10. the Futurtarian. You like the way the world is? Don't like, don't share, don't subscribe. If you don't, or if you do, then don't do it. Peace, power, soul.